The FIA's recruitment drive for new Formula One teams has been ongoing for years now, but it seems to be finally coming to a close. Whether the grid wants them or not, the FIA seems intent on getting at least one other team on the grid, and the organisation's president, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, has given the green light to one of the teams. But who is the team with Ben Sulayem's backing? And who else could be on the grid in 2026? Well, you'll just have to stick around to find out. Before we dive into Formula One's potential new team, the whole team here at F1 Reverse want to say a big thank you for helping us hit 50,000 subscribers. We're just passionate F1 fans who spent way too much time reading the news before deciding to share everything we learnt with you all, so thanks a lot for joining us. Right, let's get straight into it and talk about Andretti and General Motors. You didn't think it was going to be anyone else, did you? The process of finding new Formula One teams has been ongoing for years, and the 2026 engine regulations are a big part of that. But the formal process only began this year. The opening phase of the search invited any interested parties to submit a preliminary expression of interest, and those that did were then given complete requirements for the full application process, which had an initial deadline of April 30th, which was the Sunday of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix weekend. But it was extended to May 15th because more information needed to be requested. The original April deadline meant a decision on whether any team will join the grid was expected by June 30th. This was only ever treated as a target though. Once it slipped back to mid-July, with July 15th commonly cited as the new deadline, the same applied. It was a target, not a concrete deadline. We've seen talk that now that July 15th has passed without an announcement, no new team will be joining. Clearly, the people saying that missed the FIA president's comments on the British Grand Prix weekend. While Mohammed Ben Sulayem has taken on a more backseat role after being over-involved in the sport at the start of his tenure, he can't always resist the glitz and glamour of the F1 paddock. People have to understand we're here to promote motorsport, and we are here to be fair, the FIA president told the press. The expressions of interest process is very robust, and there is no circumstance where we can deny any teams if they fulfill the criteria to enter. So imagine me saying no to someone like GM. We have in the regulations that we can go up to 12 teams. I'm not breaking the rules. This statement from Ben Sulayem should come as a shock to a lot of people. Certainly our understanding of the expression of interest process was that the FIA was using it as a process to check eligibility and then decide if the proposed team would enter. I definitely didn't think it was a matter of tick the boxes and you're in. Ben Sulayem's comments implied that we will definitely be getting 2 new teams, and at least one of them will be the Andretti and Cadillac bid, who are owned by General Motors. He continued by saying, "But do we allow anyone to enter? No. But how on earth can we refuse GM? I mean, where's the common sense in this? GM is a heavyweight, and when they come with Andretti, that's good for all of us." Look, Ben Sulayem has said a lot of stuff in the past that didn't eventually line up with what happened. His time as the FIA president has been chaotic and controversial at times, and he loves the limelight of a media interview. Nonetheless, these comments seem pretty clear. Andretti is going to be in Formula One. There will be those that are against this though. The teams currently on the grid have not been happy with how small the fee is to join Formula One, saying that more teams will dilute the prize pool more than the value they will bring. The Andretti Cadillac bid specifically will bring value as an actual American team, working as a focal point for the emerging fan base on the North American continent. Haas might have an American owner, but they are an Italian team working out of Ferrari's factory. You could say they were born American, but definitely not bred. Andretti will be. As much as the current grid may hate it, they signed the contract that set the cost of entry at $200 million, and that allowed 2 more teams to join, so if that's going to happen, there probably isn't a huge amount they can do about it. Mercedes chief Toto Wolff says the process for a new team to join Formula One should mirror the approach of US major sports leagues, where the approval of current teams is required. Wolff and the majority of the leadership at F1's 10 teams have repeatedly expressed grievances over a new team being able to join, and the fact that the current Concord Agreement, the contract between F1, the FIA and the teams, leaves the teams out of the decision process. There is no mature sports league in the world, whether it's a National Football Championship or the Champions League, the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, where such a situation is possible, where you say, "I'm setting up a team and I'm joining. Thank you very much for making me part of the prize fund," Wolff said at the British Grand Prix. If everybody in the NFL agrees, the teams that own the franchise there, so it's different to us. agrees to have another entry, to let another team in because of the right reasons, the right ownership, etc., then that team is being admitted into the championship. And the same with most of the professional leagues in the US. We are a franchise, and this is how I would look at it. The problem for Wolff is that Formula One is not a franchise system. In the past, he said that he could see it becoming one, but for the time being, it isn't. There is a new Concord agreement to be signed for the 2026 season onwards though, and if the teams get their way, that anti-dilution fee that is paid to the current grid when a new team joins could be increased to $600 million. Andretti have said that they could join in 2025 though, which means they would avoid any increase in the fee. It isn't just Andretti that could be joining the grid. The FIA are hunting for 2 teams, and apparently if they tick all the boxes, they'll be in. Of the remaining known applications, there is a clear front-runner. The teams after a place include junior single-seater teams Hi-Tech and Rod and Carlin, as well as newly formed outfits Formula Equal and Lucky Sons. Of those, it is believed that Hi-Tech are the most likely to make it through the application process. They have officially confirmed a seemingly strong bid to become a permanent member of the grid. As a leading junior team with cars already in Formula 2, Formula 3 and Formula 4, Hi-Tech has plenty of experience of the FIA single-seater ladder, and claims to have the necessary facilities to compete in F1. After 20 months of planning and extensive preparation at its Silverstone base, Hi-Tech made its application for entry into the FIA Formula One World Championship from the 2026 season, it said in an official statement. It's a move that would complete its single-seater ladder and demonstrate that Hi-Tech has all the right people, experience and resources to compete alongside the best teams in the world. News of the F1 bid came after Kazakh businessman Vladimir Kim took a 25% stake in parent company Hi-Tech Global Holdings Limited. With a net worth of $4.6 billion, Kim is definitely financially able to support a Formula One team. Upon purchasing the stake in Hi-Tech, Kim said, "Motorsport has been a long-standing personal interest for me, and I am delighted to be entering into a partnership with an organization that has enjoyed success in so many categories and has such ambitions in its future. As an established team in the junior categories, they'll surely receive preferential treatment over other applicants due to their history of supporting the FIA's Formula Series. They supported a few names you might know through their junior careers as well, including George Russell, Liam Lawson, Ayumu Iwasa and Nikita Mazepin. The Rod and Carlin bid is interesting as well, and their plans to build their car in New Zealand will help Formula One grow its international brand. They've also committed to fielding a female in their race seat. CEO David Dicker has said he'd be perfectly happy to put Jamie Chadwick behind the wheel of one of their cars. Until there is an official announcement from the FIA or Formula One, it's impossible to say 100% that a new team will be joining the grid. But from Mohammed Ben Sulayem's comments, it seems incredibly likely that Andretti will be joining the sport in the next few years. But is that a good thing? Or would you rather Formula One stuck with the 10 teams currently on the grid? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you again for helping us get to 50,000 subscribers, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.